Hi, my name is ColdBeer and let's start with Age of Wonders 4. At first this game may look really complex, it is filled with tens or even hundreds of various tiny statistics, resources, skills, traits and so on, and that can be really overwhelming. But when I played it I remember the golden rule of any game: just play it as you can and learn along the way. And you know, it worked. It's actually not that complex and explanations here are great. Also, a very cool thing here is that immediately after you launch the game you are provided with the opportunity to create your own faction. Here you can create cannibal moles or necromancer frogs, orcs of light or anything you can imagine and officially name them as well. To be short, you can break stereotypes as you like. The combat of course is the most fun and most interesting thing in the game. Age of Wonders 4 has an incredible amount of different units made with this cool faction creation tool, from fire gremlins to holy moles with wings and nimbuses. Yeah, holy moly is actually here. Battle arenas are gorgeous as well. The design is really pretty and eye-catching. Most of them are filled with some shining details that create this magical atmosphere in which many things die. This is a great game, especially if you like the previous parts or if you are a fan of Heroes of Might and Magic. Humble Bundle just dropped an amazing collection of games with a November's choice. For only €10 you can get Hard Space Shipbreaker, WWE 2K23, Unpacking, Prodeus, Friends vs. Friends, The Legend of Tian Ding, SCP Secret Files, and Soldiers. Yeah, all of these games combined for just €10. That is 11 times cheaper than the price of these games combined when they are on sale on Steam. Yeah, you heard right, you'll find my affiliate link to the Steam bundle in the description and also in the first pinned comment. Chants of Sennaar. The review score on Steam of this game is something out of a fairy tale. 98% of positive reviews is not something you see every day. So this adventure puzzle game has a wonderful story. Divided since the dawn of time, the peoples of the tower no longer speak to each other, just like you and your neighbor who dislikes potato salad. But it is said that one day a traveler will find the wisdom to break down the walls and restore the balance. And it's you, obviously. So probably all these people are already doomed. No offense. He'll explore and discover an enchanting world in a colorful poetic setting inspired by the myth of Babel, where men have forgotten their past. You will travel the endless steps of a prodigious labyrinth, uncover ominous secrets and unveil the mysteries of this fascinating universe where ancient languages are both the lock and the key. People are saying that this game has really fun puzzles, beautiful soundtrack and a really interesting, captivating story. Traveler's Rest. This is a tavern management game where you can brew your own beer, run a farm and build relationships. You are an innkeeper on a journey to transform a rundown tavern into a bustling social space. Based in a cheerful fantasy setting, Traveler's Rest is a place to meet people, explore new places and uncover ancient magic. Along your journey you'll discover new things to brew, farm, cook and build to create your perfect fantasy tavern. The game is still in early access but has more than 90% of positive reviews. People on Steam are saying that this game is awesome, and if you like titles like Stardew Valley, it's a must-play. Also, you can smack angry customers away with your mop. Far Cry New Dawn. Far Cry games have always been colorful, but this is an absolutely next level of an airy-fairy unicorn carnage. They call it vibrant, I call it eye-melting. Despite that, Far Cry New Dawn is a decent game. Here you will dive into a post-apocalyptic Montana, 17 years after a global nuclear catastrophe. You will join fellow survivors and lead the fight against the dangerous new mob and their ruthless leaders, as they seek to take over the last remaining resources. And you are not in a mood to give your potato salad to anyone. You are more fond of bloodshed and carnage, and this is what you will do here. If you have a friend or loving mother-in-law, you can play this game together in co-op mode as well. People on Steam are bashing New Dawn for being just a shadow of Far Cry 5, and I agree, it should have been a DLC. But when it's on sale, why not? It costs as DLC as well, except you don't need the base game to play it. Achilles Legends Untold. Here you'll take control of a man with a really weak heel, but with very strong everything else. The journey will take you to many different corners of mythological lands, where you'll obtain powerful artifacts that will aid you in your quest. The game has a cool AI system that introduces innovative enemy behavior. Opponents have unscripted interactions with each other and are capable of coordinated attacks, sometimes even taking advantage of their surroundings. Developers are saying that the game is Souls-like, but not as hard as Souls games, so various Diablo-like action RPG lovers could play it as well. So it's like Sands of Aura, a mix of genres, but it's really worth your attention. Citizen Sleeper. This is a serious game for serious people, and it has above 90% of positive reviews, meaning that this is a great game no matter how you look at it. Citizen Sleeper is a narrative RPG which takes you on Erlen's Eye, a ruined space station that is home to thousands of people trying to survive on the edges of an interstellar capitalist society. You are a sleeper, a digitized human consciousness in an artificial body, owned by a corporation that wants you back. So literally, someone owns your ass and the rest of you. And amongst the unfamiliar and colorful inhabitants of the Eye, you need to build friendships, earn your keep, and navigate the factions of this strange metropolis if you hope to survive. Game is text-based, with multiple endings, beautiful drawings, and sci-fi cyberpunk atmosphere. It's like a great book where you can actually tell the hero what he must do. Eastshade. Nothing shady about this game, in fact it's hard to find some darker corner here. You are a traveling painter exploring the island and capturing the world on your canvas. Talk to the inhabitants to learn about their lives, make friends and help those in need. Visit cities, scale summits, unearth mysteries and discover forgotten places. This is a peaceful open-world exploration adventure where you will compose paintings anywhere in the world. You will offer them to locals to unlock secrets and gain items. Also, you will have to acquire crafting materials and schematics to surmount obstacles and solve quests. People on Steam are saying that this is one of the most beautiful games they have ever played, and most only wish that it was like at least 5 times longer. Mafia Definitive Edition. Remastered and re-released in 2020, the game is a proud owner of a very positive reviews on Steam. He will take on the role of a mafioso in 1930s city of Lost Haven. It's a fictional place, but it's inspired by the city of Chicago. The town got hit hard by the Great Depression, and the advent of Prohibition in America means lucrative business opportunities for various mobsters. And let's be fair, for some shady old ladies as well who were brewing their moonshines deep in the cellars. By the way, did you know that you have to pour out the first cups of moonshine you make because it's poison? If you drink it, you will die or at least go blind. I've heard that from some master brewer a long time ago, but I can't remember the details. Anyway, as I've said many times before, prohibition in my eyes is a crime against humanity, so those gangsters are just folk struggling to survive in this authoritarian environment. Tekken 7 Definitive Edition. So basically you all know what Tekken is, if you weren't living under a rock on the distant planet in the bottom of the ocean. I remember when we started playing the second part of Tekken in 1996-ish. On the PS1, the characters back then looked so cool, and we couldn't afford the PS1 because its price was like 4 salaries back then in Lithuania. So we rented it on hourly rate and played instead of going outside like our parents wanted. That probably saved us from so many dangers because we used to play in the construction site nearby. Back in the days, nobody made any fences around them. Anyway, Tekken 7 is a classic anime fighting game, so if you like the style and fighting games, it's the perfect combo for you. And this version is the best if you want a full Tekken 7 experience. Definitive Edition includes many additional characters, stages, new features and customizable sets. Death in the Water 2. I've been eyeballing this game for a long time now. It looks like a very nice shooter game set in an original underwater environment. Here you will dodge and carve your way through swarms of terrifying sea creatures, controlled by a vicious, giant, mind-controlling kraken that haunts your every move. You will scavenge for hidden treasure to unlock weapons and upgrades, but the environment of this game will make sure that every dive reveals a new nightmare. As you investigate ruins, wrecks and reefs, the tension escalates. The marine life mirrors real behavior, with sharks and creatures remaining passive unless provoked. So don't splash the water and don't pretend to be a seal. Honestly, this advice is legit not only in this game, but also in real life, except if you are attending a gathering of people who pretend to be seals, which is a very popular thing in Estonia, for example. I'm not joking. So the game features a campaign, also survival and free roam modes. People on Steam are saying that this game is very detailed and is suitable for almost every first-person shooter horror fan. The only bad thing is, if you get motion sickness easily, then avoid. Becastled. When I played the game, I was really impressed by the graphics, mechanics and the lightness of gameplay in general. And I do not mean the storage space it takes, which is also ridiculous for a modern game. 1 GB of free cosmos and that's it. I literally didn't expect it to be so tiny.
That's what she said.
Yeah, this is a game that doesn't contain any additional stuff that distracts you from the gameplay itself. Many developers forget the main thing of gaming: keep it simple, keep it fun. And this is simple, nice and fun title. Spirit of the North. This is a single-player, third-person adventure game inspired by the mysterious, breathtaking landscapes of Iceland. The story takes root from various pieces of Nordic folklore. Here you play as an ordinary red fox whose story becomes entwined with the guardian of the Northern Lights, a magical spirit fox. As you journey over the mountains and under red-stained skies, you'll discover more about your companion and land left in ruin. The game is uniquely designed to have no dialogue or narration. You know, foxes do not talk, or do they?
What does the fox say?
I'm sorry, you probably forgot this song exists, but now it will be stuck again like an earworm in your head for a long time. You are welcome. So, Spirit of the North is an adventure game with strong puzzle elements, so be sure you like to use your IQ, if you have one. Omno. The game is a journey of discovery through an ancient world of wonders. It is a single-player adventure full of puzzles, secrets and obstacles to overcome. The power of a lost civilization will carry you on an epic quest through lush forests, sun-blasted deserts, frozen tundras and even to the clouds. On your way you'll discover a vibrant world full of strange life forms, from cute little critters to something vicious that will remind you of your evil ex. The game is made by one guy, so don't expect something huge or mind-blowing, but keep in mind that more than 90% of the reviews on Steam are positive, and people are saying that this game is dope. Although very short, only about 4 hours of your boring life will be made better by Omno. Age of Wonders Planetfall. Emerge from the cosmic dark age of a fallen galactic empire to build a new future for your people, or, you know, ruin everything even more. Here you will build your kingdom with one of 6 unique factions, ranging from militant vanguard to the dinosaur-riding Amazons, cyborg zombies, and unicorn raccoon kittens of despair. Well, maybe not the latter, but I assure you that the diversity of units is really nice. Here you'll progress through each faction's missions using your wits, military strength, and diplomacy. Explore planetary ruins and encounter other survivors as you unravel the history of a shattered civilization. The game has a really nice single-player campaign and a random skirmish maps. You can play the game alone or dive into multiplayer battles and feel the shame of defeat. Leaving Lyndow. Another walking simulator gem from creators of Eastshade. Well, the predecessor, to be fair, with a more than affordable price. But this price has a catch. You will beat it in less than an hour. Leaving Lyndow is a peaceful experience with a detailed environment to explore at your own pace. The game is set in the first person, so the immersion is really here. People on Steam are saying that this is a great tasting experience before you play the Eastshade, which is, by the way, about 14 times bigger game. If you like Leaving Lyndow, then Eastshade will be like a major meal for you. The game has a very positive review score, beautiful graphics and great atmosphere. Try it out. Titan Quest Anniversary Edition. Initially the game was released in 2006, so it would be outdated by now, but thanks to this major overhaul, it is not. And it has more than 90% of positive reviews, so please, nail down your attention if you like games like Diablo. So if you ever play the old version, keep in mind that here you will get better resolutions, larger camera distance, multiplayer, mod support, Steam achievements, improved enemy and pet AI, countless bug fixes, dozens of new heroes, and so on. Titan Quest is a great game, one of the most beloved by the action RPG community, and I couldn't recommend it to you enough. It's literally like a potato itself in a potato salad, and people on Steam are saying that this is a masterful variation of Diablo formula and an absolute must-play if you like isometric hack-and-slash titles. Scarlet Nexus. So here in the far distant anime future, a psionic hormone was discovered in the human brain, granting people extrasensory powers, and that changed the world as we knew it. As humanity entered this new era, deranged mutants known as Others began to descend from the sky with a hunger for human brains. Highly resistant to conventional attack methods, extreme measures needed to be taken to battle the overwhelming threat and preserve humanity. Those with acute extrasensory abilities known as psionics were our only chance to fight the danger from above. So I guess it is you and your anime heroes named Yuito and Kasani. You will have to complete both of their anime stories to unlock all the anime mysteries of a brainpunk future caught between technology and psychic abilities. Reviews are very positive, although people are saying that the game is quite generic and may not inspire you in any way. Vagrus, the Riven Realms. This game is intended for thinkers, for people who like to carefully analyze statistics, plan their future adventures and so on. Although keep in mind that Vagrus is a very hard game. If you are looking for a casual experience, it is definitely not a good choice for you. So here you'll find a vast realm to explore, filled with unique locations, strange factions and a colorful cast of characters. The continent is a wasteland riddled with arcane anomalies, swarming with twisted monsters and haunted by roaming undead even after long centuries of rebuilding. People on Steam are saying that this is a beautiful game, but only for those with the patience and critical thinking. Despite that, the combat here is very basic and based on RNG, so don't expect miracles. They always run. This is a very nice 2D platformer where you will control a three-armed mutant hunting for the most dangerous bounties in the galaxy. Its inhabitants have been swarmed by crime since the fall of the Empire. Being able to find anyone and anywhere has become a highly prized skill, and that, my friend, is the skill you possess. Some bounties are rewarded with money, others with valuable information that you can use to find the people who set you on this forsaken path. Having three arms lets you deal with more enemies at once and makes for a persuasive argument in any scuffle. Use your third arm to perform targeted attacks and throws, manipulate the environment, destroy obstacles and wreck enemies. The game has very positive review score and people are saying that it is really fun, although it can be challenging for new players of the genre. Narita Boy. This is a retro-futuristic game where you are Narita Boy, a legendary digital hero in an epic quest of simultaneous dimensions. The digital kingdom is under attack and you are the last hope of survival, so you will have to explore a vast world to find a techno sword, the only effective weapon against the enemy. That sounds nuts and also really cool. People on Steam are saying that Narita Boy has great music and huge variety of monsters and vehicles. You can even ride a floppy disk. How cool is that?
Not as cool as riding your sister.
Oh, come on, don't say that. Although the least favorite part for almost everyone is platforming. Most of the players agree that dying by just jumping is way more common than dying from some monster, and that irritates a lot of people. Also, the story sounds cooler than it actually is. But in general, the game is a proud owner of a very positive review score, and that is always a good sign. Overcooked. This is a game for 2 to 4 people. I have it on my PlayStation and I occasionally play it with my wife. So the main feature of this game is that if you and your significant other have a calm, beautiful life, without any screaming at each other, without yelling profanities and so on, this game may fix it. I can guarantee that no matter how calm you are, you will lose your shit here every time you play. At first you will fail to cook some simple meal, then you will fail even more and will start to wonder what are you doing wrong. The answer is usually everything. So you must take the lead and become a chef. The other one will become your sous chef and will have to do as you say if you want to complete level after level. You may think that you are the head of the family, but turns can table very quickly here when your lead will take you and your SO to failure and doom. Then you will switch and you will do as your SO says. And if you finally complete the level, you will feel confused. You achieved your goal, but only because you did everything you were told and didn't use the tiny organ in between your ears practically at all. This is a great game, really humbling. Monster Sanctuary. Some time ago something happened and platformer games started to develop deepness. Monster Sanctuary is one of those examples when you put a huge interesting game into a 2D side-scrolling setting. Basically it's sort of a Pokemon game where you collect various monsters and use them for your own interest and pleasure. They do all the hard work for you and you gain all the benefits, so they are basically your slaves and have no free will of their own. They have to serve their master overlord and never think about returning to nature ever again, because once you enslave them, that's it, they are bound to your will. And somehow here, you are still a good guy.
Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.